Christian McCaffrey is light years ahead of Austin Ekeler. He is the best all-around running back in the NFL.
Thank you. Yes, he is.
Welcome back to another episode of Caps Off by the Game Day. Happy Wednesday.
Happy
we got
Tuesday.
You're right. But
Wednesday.
For you, it's Tuesday. For
we're
you at
releasing
home,
this.
it's
Yeah.
Wednesday.
Yeah,
That's why I
yeah.
say that every time.
Hump day.
I do that every time. You always ruin it.
No, you're correct.
You're ruining the effect.
No,
That's
I
why
know.
I
I'm
stay
trying
on
to.
it.
We've
home.
produced a. We've produced a heavily, a really well thought out facade that today is Wednesday.
Yeah, no,
It's not
but it
actually
doesn't matter
Wednesday.
because when the season comes around, we're going to be 5 days a week. But that's neither here nor there.
Oh, right.
are we?
Get ready,
Yeah.
folks.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
Don't
ready,
give them
folks.
false hope.
Who's we?
Yeah. But because it is
Adam and
Tuesday.
Hezbollah.
Yeah, me and Hezbollah. Because
we
it is
get 'em.
Tuesday, we should talk about the current events that's occurring this
Happy-
Tuesday morning.
Yeah, on
What's
Wednesday.
happening,
That
Adam?
are current eventing.
So currently, you know the song Yellow Submarine?
Yeah.
There's a white submarine now, and it's nowhere to be found. This Titanic sub, you see what's going on?
No.
So there was a submarine
It
that...
actually is crazy.
It's insane. So there was a submarine that went down to go visit the Titanic. 12,000 feet
It's quite deep.
down off the coast of Newfoundland. Now, before we jump into it, anyone else realize that the Titanic went down off the coast of Newfoundland, Canada?
No fucking clue.
Thought it was England.
Newfoundland?
England? No, I
Newfoundland.
never thought it was
It's
England.
York?
spelled Newfoundland.
Yeah, Newfoundland.
Oh, I thought you were saying like New Finland.
No.
There's
it's
no
what
Newfoundland.
it's called, though.
Finland is
Newfoundland.
not that new.
Newfoundland.
No.
So whatever, this sub, they went down.
There's a lot of buried treasure.
There's a lot of buried treasure. So for $250,000,
History
for
Channel.
those, bless you, that don't know math, that's $250,000. You could pay to go see the Titanic. This is one of
that's cool.
3 subs in the world that can
For
go to depths.
$250,000?
Yes, for $250,000.
$250,000?
$250,000.
Wow.
And there are only 3 subs in the world that can go down to the depths of where the Titanic is, which is 12,500 feet down. This sub went down, and it is currently nowhere to be found.
Yeah, you're a fucking idiot if you pay $250,000 to fucking risk your life.
The 3 theories, it's actually
I would
insane.
do that to
It
go to
actually
space.
pisses me
The
off.
3 theories right now of where this sub is, the first is that it went into the Titanic and it's actually stuck on a wedge. Like it's wedged in, it's stuck inside the Titanic so they can't get out. So that's the first one. The second one is the fact that they've run out of power and they could be bobbing somewhere on the surface, which just seems unlikely. The third is the fact that this is a sub that has been somewhat makeshift. I know it sounds crazy for that price, but a lot of the parts on it, like the controller to control the sub, is
how
a
many-
PlayStation
you said there's
controller by
only 3 of
Logitech.
them?
No way.
I swear to God, it's a Logitech PlayStation controller that they've adjusted for the computer. That it combusted going down, and they've
Well, you
fully
said there's only
disintegrated,
like 3
but
of those,
There's
right?
only 3 in the world.
So it's not like fucking getting on an airplane where it's like there's actually no risk because there's fucking millions of them and like every
Correct.
day none of them crash. Whereas there's only 3 of these. There's not enough data to pull from to say that that's any
Bro,
bit safe.
if I'm paying $250,000 and you're about to put me down with a fucking PlayStation controller, I'm out.
It's insane.
I'm not doing
they
that
have
shit. You
96
kidding me?
hours of life support with oxygen, and currently I think it's been like 48 hours, if I'm not mistaken. The problem is, even if theoretically they find out that they are down there, right? Like if it pings that they are stuck inside the Titanic, no one can get them because there's only 2 other subs in the fucking world that can get down there. The other part to it is, even if they were to get down there, they're bolted from the outside, so they can't even get in. They can't even like transfer, especially at that
The air
depth. They'll just
pressure they have to
so what
yeah.
happened? So they lost connection to the Logitech remote at the surface?
we don't fucking know what happened. They just, but you're telling me that at that price, you're gonna risk it, and they
you-
could just run out of fucking power? Yes, Ben. Correct.
They lost power in the first hour and a half.
And
So
it
it's
takes 8
early.
hours to get down to the Titanic.
Oh,
So
Damn. So they didn't even get there. Or
But
maybe they're there with
This
the
sounds fucking terrible.
it's it is
like
terrible.
the whole trip, like even if it
What's the
worked perfectly,
craziest
like,
shit
that's
you would do
so dumb.
for a Super Bowl?
Well, I was gonna say
fuck. I wouldn't
what,
go 8 hours down to that shit. That's fuck
8
that.
hours?
8
I feel
hours, bro.
it's crazy.
That's scary as fuck, bro.
Also,
You're playing with your life.
even if they were to get up to the surface, they can't, like, because of the way the pressure is, like in the nitrogen that's in your body, they have to wait inside of there. So even if theoretically they were found and they get up to the surface with 5 hours to spare of oxygen left in there, they could still potentially die. Now they can be resuscitated, but they could still die because they have to wait inside the sub to allow nitrogen and oxygen to come
That's
back in.
crazy,
And they're
bro.
bolted in. So like from the outside,
Yo,
it's the only place you can
but
open
what
it.
about the black box?
Well, that's
If
Jack
they
brought
had
that
a
up.
black box.
Well,
Yeah.
remember, you have to find the black box to find out what happened.
Oh.
The question that I have for you guys, considering that this is these
there's always a
people,
gimmick.
which is really sad that they're likely going to die down there in the Titanic, because that feels like a weird way to go out is stuck inside the Titanic, 12,000 feet down.
later.
What's like your
terrible,
biggest
bro.
fear of how to die?
Oh, I fucking hate the ocean.
Well, you just said that. That's like
the
at
ocean,
the top of my list, bro.
I like don't enjoy scuba. Like the thought of scuba diving is scary to me.
I would scuba.
I love scuba
I've
diving.
gone
See a big ass
snorkeling.
shark coming by.
Dude, that's a shit. I like snorkeling. It's actually not. It's not so much the animals as much as it is the endless nothingness. You know what I mean?
Nah,
It's
bro.
thalassophobia.
Cool. For me, it's the animals.
No, that
dog.
shit
You
scares
don't like
me.
the animals?
Bro, you see a big ass like a great white
Yeah,
shark. going
yeah,
right by
that-
you,
Bro,
you
when you
fucking
go
kidding me?
snorkeling, you don't see fucking.
They're
great
more
white
afraid of
sharks.
No, but I don't
No,
fuck
he's not
with it
talking
either.
about.
No,
I'm
no,
not talking
I
about
agree.
snorkeling. He's talking about scuba diving.
No,
You know-
but both. I've been snorkeling and I didn't like the animals.
You know how-
Like I don't want them to
dope.
touch me.
If I see some
Go
like
to
cute,
Molokini off the coast of Maui and then talk to me about snorkeling. Snorkeling is fucking dope.
no, that's
fair.
fine.
That's
Can you
fair.
see a
Haven't
little
done
cute
that.
little fish, some
You
dogs?
know
I
how
was
rare
swimming
it
with- I
is
was
to
swimming
see a
with a big
shark,
ass sea
though?
turtle. It
You know how
was
rare it
sick.
is to see a great. There's only like few pockets of the world that you can see a great white shark.
Yeah,
Not
Yeah,
just
but
like
if you're scuba diving, like that's like different than snorkeling, though.
yeah, no, I'm
That's what I'm
speaking.
saying. Snorkeling, that's cool. You see some cute fish, whatever.
Yeah, I'm on the basis of scuba diving sick. I love scuba diving.
I've
You know, I
I'd love
don't-
to do it. I think it'd be dope.
the
done it a
ocean's
few times.
terrifying.
Yeah, but you're
for
a
sure.
weird
Bro, one
motherfucker.
of my buddies back home, he did an internship like where he literally just scuba dove in Fiji for like 2 months.
Wow.
It's crazy.
Fucking
What's your
nuts.
biggest fear? For me, it's drowning to death
Dying.
or burning to death.
Yeah,
Oh, burning to
that's
death
bad.
is easy.
Just straight dying.
No,
You're scared of dying?
Just it's over.
I don't get this fear of death. Like you die and you're gone. Like it
Yeah,
doesn't
that's
make any
fucking
sense.
scary. It's all
How's that
ends.
scary? You don't. There's nothing
It's
that happens
scary because
afterwards.
it all ends.
well, it's scary.
done.
if
But it
the
doesn't matter
Dolphins
if it
don't
all
win a
ends if
Super
it's
Bowl.
like you have no thought.
Your facts.
I
You're
don't
not
get
gonna
the fear
know.
of death. It makes no sense to me.
That's not helping. But
You're not
yeah.
gonna know.
If I keep thinking
Your
about
point
something,
is you're not
stressed
gonna
out
know.
and leave.
Yo, you're like dead.
We're,
Yeah.
we're
You
stressing
have.
Jack
There's
out.
no.
We're
like,
stressing Jack out.
I
You know what I'm saying?
get more.
All right,
There's
stressed
no
out than
repercussions.
anything.
All right,
There's
shift
no
a little bit.
repercussions.
Shift
You
gears.
died.
Shift
You're dead.
gears. Shift gears. Like
Football.
instead of no. We'll get to football in a second. But while we're on this
Please.
subject, instead of scuba diving and shit, would you go like skydiving?
I'm more afraid
Oh,
of
I'd
skydiving
go
than
fuck
skydiving.
no.
skydiving.
I'd go
I would-
skydiving in a
I would
second.
Fuck
never
no,
go
I would never
skydiving.
I'd rather go
skydive.
down below than up top.
Same.
I'll skydive.
Me too.
I'll skydive.
I would rather go down below than up top.
I'd
and I'm
actually.
afraid of down below.
Fuck no. I would never skydive.
I would never go skydiving.
Hell
What about
no.
bungee jumping?
You're a fucking
No,
lunatic.
I'll go.
Bungee
I'll
jumping's
go
way worse.
skydiving before
I'll go
fucking
skydiving before I
bungee
bungee
jumping.
jump. You
Yeah.
bungee jump. You think this little motherfucking rubber band that's a little thicker than, dude? Hell no.
I'd
Bungee jumping
I'd
is
rather
scary.
fall and I'd rather go skydiving and hit the ground and fall than bungee jumping and the cord just snaps because there's like a brief second where I have to.
Well, let's be real. Skydiving is safe. though.
Skydive or fucking Aaron Donald running at you, tackling you.
Oh,
Skydive,
yeah,
bro.
you can come at me, bro. I don't give a fuck.
Nah, you're more scared of skydiving than going scuba diving.
Yes.
Yeah.
By a mile.
Yeah,
I'm
yeah,
jumping out
definitely.
of
There's
a
so many
plane.
more threats,
Definitely.
bro. No, but
No,
but you're
there's-
safe.
Bro, so is scuba diving. Who's
Scuba
dying
diving not
scuba
safe,
diving?
bro.
I know how to
Fucking shark
swim.
comes by, you know,
I know how to swim. I don't know how to
you-
fly.
You're not seeing sharks left and right. Like this idea of
Hey,
scuba
bro.
diving is.
I know
your
it is-
idea of scuba diving does not
the
exist.
difference
as
is
the
so
concept.
vast.
It's not cage diving with sharks.
I know how to swim and I don't
I
know how
want
to
to.
fly.
I want to do that.
I would do that.
I know how to swim. I don't know how to fly.
Scuba diving
You
is
don't have
very
to fly,
dangerous.
bro. You
though.
have a parachute. Like you're not gonna die skydiving. It's just a dope ass thing.
And you're
to
probably
do.
and you're not gonna. I
are
feel
Same
like
with scuba diving.
you're
You
not
could
gonna
die
die
scuba
scuba
Bro,
diving,
how
but you
else
could
scuba
die
diving?
skydiving too.
Scuba diving is
Yeah.
more dangerous than skydiving. I will say
Is
that.
it?
Yes,
Yes.
because
Statistically?
because what you're
But
not
it's less
factoring in is the
scary.
nitrogen
It's
into
not-
your body. So you have to
Yeah.
take your time coming up. If you come up to the surface too quickly, you're done. You're gonna get the bends, and that's how you die.
All right. Well, now I'm never doing it. Thanks.
But but then that's how you get certified, and you understand why this fucking submarine is so problematic because they can't just come straight to the surface. You have to take levels, and there's time to get there. It is scuba diving is more dangerous, but scuba diving is way more. I think it's way more rewarding to go down there than it is to go up top. Because I go on a plane, I see what it looks like.
I don't think you get. I mean, personally, like my thought is like there's a hella adrenaline coming down from the sky. That's just gonna like
It's a different type of adrenaline.
you're gonna live. You're gonna be living. But when you're down in the ocean, like I don't. What the fucking adrenaline do you have? You're just like staring at fucking water.
No.
No appreciation.
Like
for
I'm
the-
looking at. I'm looking at.
no
black water.
appreciation for the
life.
beautiful
No
planet we
appreciation.
live
Marine
on.
life is
The fact
gorgeous.
that
I'm not saying it's not beautiful. It's like looking at the ocean is beautiful. Looking at
Yeah.
the
Right,
the
you
mound of
see-
flowers and Flower Mound is beautiful.
That's a good point. If I could skydive over Flower Mound, I'll do it.
All right, fair. That's
Yeah.
good. That's good. But yeah, that's crazy.
Oh, updated the chance of rescuing.
Chance of
1%.
rescue 1%. I'm even shocked that they're giving it a 1% chance.
Damn.
Because if you just look at all the variables,
All right, we do have
That's
to talk
crazy.
about.
Oh, what the hell is the Coast Guard?
All right, if you've made it this far, you're a real one.
no, current events. I think everyone knows about this right now.
Current events.
I didn't know about it until
Miami
just a few minutes
Marlins.
ago.
Current events, Miami Marlins. One more current event.
Luis Ariz.
Yeah, shout out
Luis
to Marlins.
Ariz.
Yeah.
Fourth player in MLB history since not history. Since 1900 to have 5+
the
hits in a
modern
game. Modern era. Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
Since the 1900s.
Who's that one guy that, is really good at doing that back in...
Ty Cobb.
He did that. There's another guy that's really famous for that. The Red Sox. Ty Cobb.
Yeah, he was on the Red Sox.
Also a T.
Yeah.
Ted
Lasso.
Tony
Yeah,
Gonzalez.
Tony Gonzalez is crazy. Yeah, C-Med, Marlins.
Troy
bro.
Aikman.
Hey, 11 games over. Best mark since in the last 14 years. What would you say? Tony
Ted
Romo? Ted
Bundy.
Ted Walensky.
Ooh,
Ted Wuhan.
Roosevelt.
Williamson.
Oh, no.
Ted Williams.
Teddy Williams.
Ted Williams, bro.
How do you not know who Ted Williams is?
All right, let's.
No, I do.
I
I
don't
was just
even know
making
what
sure
that
you
is.
knew.
You don't know who that is?
No.
Ted Williams?
Ted Williams.
Who's that?
He's the last guy to hit 400. He's on the Red Sox.
Oh, he did it for the whole season?
He did it. Yeah, he did it for like 3 years.
yeah.
Damn.
Oh, no, that's why he wasn't answering.
Ted?
Bro, why did you ask me?
I thought we were talking about scuba divers still.
No.
We were talking
All
about
right.
baseball, and obviously Ted Williams.
All right, well, it is.
Hey,
Ty Cobb.
It is the cafeteria day.
Shout out the Marlins.
Go Marlins, bro.
best mark in 14 years.
Dude, Marlins, Reds, and Giants, hottest teams in baseball. Who
Hey,
would've thought
guys.
that?
How are we?
Maybe who would have thought us starting a podcast would have been our teams popping off? You know what I'm saying?
Yo, facts. Let's go Mets.
Meet the Mets.
Go Mets, dude.
What are we talking about today?
It's a
Marlins.
cafeteria day.
I love the cap. Have we ever explained to anyone what the cafeteria is? before we
Sure.
jump into
Yeah,
it?
the
We don't have that too many things.
You
to
know when
talk
you
about.
sit in the cafeteria and you're just like playing games with your boys in
school?
In school, yeah. You know, there's no
those
cafeteria
brown
anywhere else.
tables.
Well, there is.
There is, but whatever. Yeah. Your middle school cafeteria, you know? So this is
It
obviously the
smells
Caps
like the
Off
food.
podcast.
It smells kinda gross.
So here we're not the cafeteria, we are the capeteria,
Get it?
which
Get
is
it?
appropriate,
Cafeteria.
appropriately corny dad joke that we like. Okay.
Yeah, we're all dads.
We're going to play some games. So the first things we got some Factor Caps. Trayvon Diggs tweeted something this weekend that we found interesting. So Factor Cap, sacks are easier to get than interceptions.
Well, considering we're probably the most credible people to speak about what's harder, we've done it a few times.
Yo, Perotti, you played football.
Jack played football.
Yeah, I played JV football in high school. Not a big deal. Did play a little DN, second string. But yeah, that's a fact because as good as you are as I was at getting sacks on the scout team against our offense, it was special, man. So
As a varsity slot wide receiver.
You only practiced against your offense because you didn't make it in the games? Is that what you're saying?
basically. No,
Yeah,
I started on offense, so that was.
Oh,
where that
nice.
came
Nice.
from.
Tight end?
Yep.
Fire.
No, but I think sacks easier. People get more sacks every year.
Then interceptions?
Yep.
Yeah, I mean, I was on the varsity team, but I was the one that just dressed up. I didn't.
But you practiced though.
I practiced though. Yeah. Yeah.
There you go, bro.
No, I do think I'll say Cap. He said sacks are.
Sacks are easier to
Oh,
get
I'll
than
say
interceptions.
fact. I'll say
Remember,
fact.
this was Trayvon Diggs saying this, so he's a corner. So like,
Well, he doesn't have much credibility,
well,
compared to what we do, compared to the
that's
credibility
fair.
that
I'm
we
just
have.
saying. I'm just saying his position is not generally. You would assume that a corner's position would get more interceptions than it would get sacks.
I'll just say fact. I think because there's time. There's 3 seconds before a quarterback throws. Like the variabilities that could come from having to pick off the ball versus like a sack, which is like not necessarily straight line, but getting to the quarterback versus having to stick with a man and then turn around and actually pick it off. I think it's harder to get an interception.
I say Cap. Like, yes, it's
Cap.
it's like you get more sacks. Like if you take a top DN and a top edge rusher, the top DN is going to have more sacks, or a top edge rusher is going to have more sacks than a top corner. But it's easier to get an interception, to physically get an interception, than it is to
Like the act of doing.
Yeah, you can always
just
catch a ball.
Just because one is more common.
Yes.
Just like throwing touchdowns is more common than rushing touchdowns, doesn't mean one is harder than the other.
Yes.
In that case, passing it is harder than rushing, in my opinion. But in this case, I think that getting after the quarterback and getting a sack is much more difficult than getting an interception, because an interception, you could luck into an interception. You can't luck into a sack. That does not exist. You can't luck into an interception. A quarterback just happens to throw.
Quarterback throws a bad throw and it comes
or if
right
you're
to
in zone
you. Then
coverage
it's
as
a
a
pick.
linebacker, how many times have we seen like a linebacker in the middle of the defense, and the quarterback? It looks like the quarterback threw it straight to the linebacker, but the quarterback didn't see the linebacker there. He saw a crossing route and he wanted to get the receiver in stride. He just didn't see the linebacker. Linebacker right there, all he has to do is stand there and he's just
Or
covering
the
his
guys
zone.
that put their hands up at the ball, like, oh,
There you go, an interception. Like, so it's much easier to get an interception.
We're
than a
not.
sack.
We're also not even. We're not taking into account the offensive line you have to run.
No, it's way harder to get a sack. It's not.
Those are big motherfuckers.
Yeah, you're not fucking Trayvon Diggs.
Bro, I don't know shit about
small
this.
man.
What's harder? Like, I think they're both pretty hard. Who's to say one's harder than the other?
For a defensive
But the
end,
question
it's
isn't
easier for them to sack. But for
here's
corner,
a good. What would be easier, a corner to get a sack,
Yes.
or a defensive end or an
Yes.
edge rusher to get an interception?
corner to get a sack.
I don't know.
Corner to get a sack. That happens way more frequently.
I don't.
Yeah, it's easier to.
Happens way more
Well, it
frequently.
happens more frequently, but we just had the same argument.
Also,
Sacks happen more frequently.
That's fair, but I'm just saying, like,
If you're a D lineman, you can just throw your hands up in the
just
air. and
because of the
hopefully
way
fucking
that
tip it to
you
yourself.
draw. That
Are you saying a
move
corner
on
playing a defensive lineman spot, or are you saying a corner coming off the corner position?
Playing the defensive line. You swap positions. Swapping positions.
Oh.
What is harder, a corner to get a sack or an edge rusher to pick off the ball?
Edge rusher pick off.
Obviously.
Yeah, because they're gonna get
They're-
burnt deep.
they're-
They're gonna get burnt deep. But like,
I'd
that's,
say they're athletic enough to cover like a shallow cross or some shit, right? Like a zone corner or something.
Some of them,
arguably.
some of them are.
Very
Yeah,
few,
not all of
yeah.
them. Yeah.
No, you go like edges though. Like you get like a Nick Bosa out there.
He's not running with any.
Micah
receivers.
I don't think
Parsons.
he's running with anyone.
Micah's
yeah.
barely running with receivers.
Micah
But I'm saying
might.
they're not running down the field, but you do a Richard Sherman type of zone scheme. Yeah,
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like, you get a guy like Xavier Howard or a Trayvon Diggs even, and those guys are great zone corners, or Richard Sherman back in the day. But they're not locking a guy down like man to man. Trayvon is though, because he's the best corner in the league.
He just had a bad year.
X had 15. Like, what do you have? 15 interceptions?
Yeah.
Yeah, because he got the ball thrown so much to him because he was a guy that took chances. Like, it's, I don't know. Darrell Reeves would have seasons with like a couple interceptions.
No,
and
I'm
he
not
would
saying.
lock
I'm
down.
not saying that.
thrown to, like, 10
I'm not saying
times.
that if you have more sacks, that makes you a better. I mean, more interceptions
Yeah.
that makes you a better player. Like that's what's Byron Jones when he was on the Cowboys.
Yeah.
He never got thrown to him.
He had, like,
He's
one
just fucking
interception in
lockdown
4 years.
defender. Yeah, like that doesn't mean you're.
I just think you can luck into an interception. You there's no such thing as lucking into a sack. There's like
Yeah,
no
that's-
such thing as that.
Intercept.
Good
yeah.
point. You swayed me.
Yep.
I'm just thinking about like potential position swaps. I don't know if this is a good one, but if you were to swap like a corner and a wide receiver, who
That's
would have
more doable.
Who would have a better time transitioning to the other?
Corner as a receiver.
The corner to
Corner
the
as a
receiver, or the
receiver.
receiver to the corner?
Corner's much harder to play. than
Corner's
receiver.
one of the hardest.
Yeah.
Corner might be one of the top 3 hardest positions to play in the NFL.
I think a corner can
Like
switch to a receiver
the
more
lateral
easily.
quickness that corners have and that they have to be able to play that position would translate.
And the reaction time,
Yeah.
because you're reacting, whereas a receiver you're on off. Like,
Also,
you're
probably
It's hard
yeah,
when
yeah,
you
you
don't
don't
like going up and getting the ball.
You're also
or something like that, too.
shadowing someone running. Like, just think about the act of like don't think about anything else you have to do. Just think about running with someone and the lack of
someone that
predictability.
athletic and quick too.
It's
like,
insane.
and
to
most
me.
of the time, corners are more athletic than receivers.
Yeah.
Like probably 90% of the time they're more athletic than
They
receivers.
just can't catch.
A lot of times they can't catch. Yeah.
That's what I'm saying.
It's
right?
actually wild. Like I watched some shit with it was like I think it was like Ohio football. I don't know why it's Ohio, but they're like talking like to all the DBs like it's like oh like so if you could play any other position what would it be like oh receiver it's like oh did you used to play they're like yeah in high school and then it's like so when did you start transition
realized
to
I
a
can't
defensive back
catch.
and they're like freshman year of college and they're like why it's like couldn't catch
Yeah.
and it was like most of
Kept
all
dropping
their
the ball.
DBs at Ohio University
They're
was,
crazy
all of them
athletic.
can't
Most of the
catch.
time, it's not even about just like having the hands to catch. It's just they don't have great ball skills. Because ball skills is a huge thing as a receiver.
yeah you got
I
really
got good-
skilled
I
with
got
the
good
balls.
ball skills. All right, next one, factor cap. Oh, this is interesting. Let me preface this a little bit. We were just talking about how miserable there are lots of teams in the league. There's a lot of fans. There's a lot of teams you could be really miserable to be a fan of. So we were talking about one team in particular, which is the New York Jets.
Oh,
So
my
despite
condolences.
getting Aaron Rodgers, factor cap, the Jets are the worst team to be a fan of in the league.
Cap. Because at least
No, overall, overarching by a mile fact.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. I mean,
I say cap.
I'll say
At
cap.
least with the Jets, like you're gonna suck, so you can attach yourself to something, and like how do we improve
yourself
and
to
everything. Like you
something.
can feel something. If you're
No.
a
Yeah, you
can.
Commanders fan, I'm feeling fucking nothing. I got an owner
Dude,
that hates
Jets
my
fan?
fucking team. I got.
You got a
Didn't
new
he
owner
just
now.
sell it?
Well, I'm saying
about to
I'm saying in the past, if you were a fan of the Commanders, obviously you
Overall,
wanted them to
overall.
sell it. You have a fucking shitty stadium.
You never
The
compete in
teams-
your division.
but they've been semi-good. So like you're getting close, but the team itself, nobody's coming there. The fucking the franchise is just a disaster. So at least with the Jets, you feel negativity, you feel something. With the
But at
Commanders, you don't
least-
feel shit.
At least the Commanders make the playoffs every few years. The Jets haven't made
No,
it in
the
so
Commanders-
The
long.
Jets made the AFC Championship like twice in the past like 10 years.
Bro, in our whole life.
Washington, we've never seen one good Washington year ever.
No.
Bro,
Kirk Cousins had like one good year. RG3 had like
They've
one
made
good
the
year.
playoffs more times in our lifetime than the Jets have.
I
Didn't
don't
they just?
think so.
Didn't they just make the?
Yeah.
Actually, have they?
Yeah.
The Wild
what are the
card.
numbers?
Jets have only
Yeah,
made it
didn't
like
they
3
just
times.
make the wild?
And so have the Washington. Same thing, bro. Washington has never like they've won the division. It's always between the Cowboys and Eagles over the past like 10 years, and the Giants sneak in every now and then too.
Yeah.
Regardless, I don't think it's either of those teams. I think
Bro,
it's
they won the division in 2020.
who?
The Commanders.
Yeah.
Yeah, when else before that? Go find the next time before that.
2015, 2012, 2007.
I'm
2005.
telling you, they've been way better than the
Okay,
Jets
so
in our
that's
lifetime.
so that's 3 times
They've
in the
been
past.
better.
That's 3 times in the past 10 years. The Jets have probably won it. Well, they were
Never.
probably divisional.
the Jets haven't won the
because the
division in
Patriots. That's not fair.
forever.
They play with the Patriots.
Yes, that's totally fair.
How many
That's
How many NFC championships have the? How many fucking
The last
divisional
time-
games have the Washington
The
Redskins?
last time
been
the
in?
Jets
None.
won,
or the Commanders.
The last
None.
time the Jets won the division was 2002.
Damn.
And
here's
the
what I'm
last
saying.
time
made
they
two
made
AFC
the
reason why
they
right
made two
now-
last
AFC
time they made the
championships.
playoffs was 2010.
The reason right now it's so like if you're, I guess I'm just thinking about it like since we've been alive, why being a Jets fan is by far the most painful is that you got that motherfucker Tom Brady for 20 years in New England with Bill Belichick and all that, just ruining your fucking life. And then right after Tom Brady leaves, who enters the division? Josh fucking Allen.
Yep.
You kidding me? That's so unfair. That's so
No,
rude
that's
to
unfair.
do.
But why is that logic more unfair for the Jets than it is for like the
Because
Dolphins?
the Jets are never
Because
gonna.
the Dolphins
They're
are
never gonna have
decent.
that guy that's better.
The
They
Dolphins
made the
just
playoffs.
became decent
I know, but they've made the playoffs.
once.
Okay.
They made
think
it
being
sure
a
a couple
Dolphins
years.
fan
Chad
is worse
Pennington.
than being a Jets
No,
fan?
but I'm
Okay,
saying
that's
based off of your argument of saying like Brady and then it goes Josh Allen, like that applies to the same logic as the Dolphins. The reason
Yeah,
I
but
think
the
it's
Dolphins have been good and the Jets have been fucking terrible.
at least with the fucking
Jets
Jets,
can't find a
at least with the
quarterback.
fucking Jets, like you're a team that like in the biggest market where people will talk about you, good or bad. With the Commanders, ain't nobody fucking talking about you. All you want sometimes as a fan is to have some airtime.
That's not true. The Commanders have a really good fan base. Also,
I'm not saying with fan base. I'm saying
So they're
why
talking about
why
each
the
other.
worst why they're it's the worst team to be a fan of because no one gives a shit about you guys. You have great
I will say
fans,
that
but no one
stadium
gives a
is a
shit.
fucking
And your owner
pain.
doesn't give a shit about you. You finally sold it.
No, that's
but like,
true. Bad
I would say I'd
management.
rather be a Jets fan than a Commanders fan,
I think being a
regardless of wins
Chargers
and
fan
losses.
is worse than all of those because
They don't exist.
Yeah, and you don't
Yeah.
have a team.
You don't have
Like,
anyone
you
to talk to your team about.
You don't have
That's
like
true.
you
No
don't have
mutuals.
camaraderie with your own fan base. Whereas like when you think about the top fan bases, they all like you have so many people to lean on. And so even if you suck, you have a lot of people to lean on. The Jets have a very strong fan base and they're fucking massive.
Yeah, they're
so
massive.
it's totally fine.
But also, you would have
you
a
can
lot
embrace
of these Chargers
you can embrace
fans.
the suck like you said.
Exactly.
It's okay.
A lot of these Chargers fans also are probably in San Diego. Well, not probably. They're in
I was
San
about
Diego.
to say
so like
that.
L.A. Sure. Like
Right. They lost their team.
I don't
their
even-
team
yeah.
left
I think
them.
one of the reasons like being like saying like it's the worst team to be a fan of is because like the Jets fans are so passionate. They love the team so much. But like they just have
don't-
nothing
they don't-
to fucking root
No,
for.
they
like now they
no.
finally
They have a lot to root for, but they can never
Now.
have nice things.
yeah.
Nice things don't. No. Even before they would be able to root for their team, but then they would lose. Like,
But I'm saying like
But like you just know you're gonna.
I'd
suck.
rather be a
you
Jets
sit with
fan
a-
than a Commanders
You sit
fan.
with a Jets fan on a football Sunday, and we watch them go through like
depressing.
all the waves of grief.
Yeah.
You know, like everything, every emotion you could experience, laughing, crying.
yeah, but based off of that, then Washington would be a worse. You'd rather be a Jets than
I'd rather be a Jets
Washington.
fan. At least with all my friends, we could all be like, we fucking stink.
They've
We're
also
going-
been good in the recent past. Well, like the past 12 years.
I would rather be a Jets fan than a
Washington
Commanders
hasn't made
fan.
the divisional championship.
Is there
divisional
any
game
other
since
fan? Is there any other
2006.
team
Bro,
that you would
Washington
fucking
makes the
hate?
playoffs at a more
They
consistent.
haven't
That's
made
a
the
different
division. They haven't made a
question, though.
divisional game since 2006, bro.
Saying you'd rather be a Jets fan than a Commanders fan is a different question.
But
I
I
think.
think what's the most painful? I read it as
I
what's
think.
the most painful.
It's like,
team
yeah, I
to be a
agree.
fan
I'd
of?
rather be a Jets fan because I like New York better.
so then that's a different question though. What's the most painful team to be a fan of?
I think,
That's what I was thinking of it.
I
as,
think
the
it's the Jets.
The
Nah,
Jets
then you
are
could.
there,
when you,
but
no, when you throw that up, then you're talking about like the Cowboys. You're talking
Even
about
Bills.
the
Bills
Vikings.
lost 4 straight Super Bowls.
The
They can't get it
Vikings.
done right now.
Vikings.
Vikings.
it's like because it's how
That's
you
right.
view it.
False hope, right?
Exactly. Would you
Saints.
rather get close and then never have it happen, or would you rather never even get close enough?
Yeah, so that's
I would
the
rather
Cowboys.
not get close.
Yeah, same.
Like I think it would be less painful to just never have a chance.
I think it's worse to be a Cowboys fan than it is a Jets fan.
Oh.
So as someone
I don't know
who's
about that, bro.
as someone who's been close and
In our
lost, I
lifetime.
can
They've
tell you
won.
that it's
Oh, in our
easier to be
lifetime.
close.
In our
In
lifetime.
our generation.
In our generation.
Yeah.
Because in the past, I'm not going to sit here and be like, oh, in the fucking
Like
80s
the
and
difference
90s.
though is that the Jets is like
Well,
our
that's my point.
parents'
The Jets have
generation.
had more success than the Cowboys. As much as y'all don't want to say it, the Jets
What
have been
the
to 2
fuck?
AFC championship games. You try to say Washington has been more successful than them. They haven't. They haven't been in a divisional game since 2006.
But Washington's been in the playoffs more often, is what I'm saying.
You can make the playoffs as many times as you want. If you don't win, then what does it matter?
Are you speaking in our generation?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. Because
Washington
I was
hasn't
about to
been
say,
Washington
overall, the Jets have had
I thought we were talking
a
about the
worse,
Cowboys.
like, very clearly, the Cowboys have had a better success.
The Jets have had higher peaks than the Cowboys. That's a fact.
I'm just saying, I'm not speaking about our generation for a second. Overall, the Cowboys have won 4 Super Bowls. The Jets have won 1.
5.
No,
5 Super Bowls. The Jets have won 1 in 1960.
Don't put us with the Giants ever again.
Whatever. I'm just saying that's
Y'all
not,
have 4. We have 5.
That's not my point. My point, I'm not comparing the
Jesus
Giants to
Christ.
the Cowboys, bro. I'm comparing the Cowboys to the Jets. The Jets clearly have the more agonizing history
Absolutely.
than the Cowboys. There's
I'm
no
saying
comparison.
in our lifetime, though.
There's something about like
That's
like,
a different conversation.
I understand how painful it is, like have hope and then you get like really disappointed in the playoffs and everything like that. But to just have no hope ever, like the last decade for the
sucks.
Jets, is so sad.
Yeah.
Yeah, it becomes numb.
Like you go
become
in and
numb
you're
to
just
it.
like, I guess we'll win. Fucking
That is
4
why
games this
I've been
year.
saying to Jets
Yeah.
fans not to build up too much hope this season because
Nah,
you
you
never
got-
know what's
bro,
going to happen.
I totally
This is
disagree.
the time to have hope, and I just don't want them to
No.
be
That's the
let down.
logic way of
but
going
this-
about
I
that.
don't
Fuck
want them to
that.
be
But
let
this is,
down.
this is why you build up hope because it's like, you know what?
You've waited for this
is one
moment.
fucking
Yeah,
time.
you've
Like,
waited to be
give us
arrogant.
a year.
So wait, going back to it, is it worse to be a fan of a team that has no hope and kind of play in that space, or have hope and then never get to the
I'd
playoffs?
say
rather
have
have
no
no hope.
I'd rather.
I'd rather have no hope.
I
than
don't
have
know
hope
because
and
now
then
I'm
get
thinking
let
about
down.
like having hope in general just makes the season more exciting.
That's why.
right?
That's why it's more fun.
Like at the very, you have hope. You're like, oh fuck, like we might make the playoffs this year, even if we go on a little rut.
fair, that's
it's
fair.
okay.
That's fair.
Hell's not
Yep.
going to burn
Yep.
over.
Good take.
But if you,
I think
but if you're the
peak of
Jets,
my-
you win like you lose 2 games in a row. You're like, motherfucker.
When you think about
Motherfucker.
Like
when you think about your experience as a fan,
Motherfucker.
a lot of the highs is the
Having
hope that you
expectation.
have.
Yeah.
So,
I-
and that rides throughout the
I'd
season.
rather have the hope.
So if you
That's
have no
fair.
hope, that means you're never happy. That's
I'm-
terrible.
I'm just
And
thinking
that's how
about
Jets
my.
fans are. They never have any hope.
All right, that's fair. You swayed
I'm
me.
just thinking about my teams about how like the Giants gave me hope they would go somewhere this season, like, and then they got
And
fucking
even if they didn't make the
clapped by the
playoffs, you would have
Eagles.
been fine.
I'm just saying my highs and my lows are higher when I have hope. So it's
Yeah,
like my
yeah,
highs
yeah.
of like,
That's true.
holy shit, the Giants are making a playoff run versus when they get crushed by the Eagles.
know-
My lows are lower than they
You wanna-
when they
you wanna
would be.
know what
so
the
that
most-
misery to me is like my thinking of like I'd rather just not have
Do you,
hope.
do you want to know what the epitome
You know what I'm
of
saying?
being a Jets fan is? I remember a few years ago, the Jets are like 0 and fucking 12 or 13, and they have to play the Rams, who are balling at this
Yeah.
point in the year. The Rams lose to the Jets that game somehow, and that game decided the fact that the Jets were able to select second in the draft instead of the
Not get
Jaguars
Trevor
and got
Lawrence.
Zach Wilson
Yep.
instead of Trevor
Yeah,
Lawrence.
that's bad,
And
bro.
that's the most Jetsy fucking thing in the world. The
Yeah.
fact that the one time you win a game,
I
and your
remember
team is
that.
so terrible
Dude.
means that it fucks you over for
Hey,
10
but you're setting
plus
up the
years.
culture,
They won on a crazy last minute play too. Like,
Yeah, it was insane. It's
But I feel like
Who was the quarterback for them that year? The
Dude,
Jets.
fuck if
Who
I
was
know.
starting in that game?
Darnold? I think it might have been.
It might have
Darnold.
been Darnold.
Might have been Darnold.
This was like 2 years ago.
dude,
It
so
was-
bad.
yeah, it was
I
like- it was
remember,
like
yeah,
2 or
yeah.
3 years
But
ago.
also to your point of like,
it is depressing to be a Jets
like
fan,
being
for
a
sure.
Dolphins
I
fan,
thought
I
it was
feel
fucking
like I've
Rams,
gotten in the last, like, because these last 2 years or at least a year, they've finally been good, and now we have hope. But the hopes are so fucking high. But then the last 15 years of my life, they've been so fucking bad. And like, there was a point to it
Without
just
Chad
being
Pennington.
miserable. Yeah, we had that 1 year. But there's a point to being miserable, and then the point to having the hopes that like the highs are super high and the lows are super low.
Yep.
You swayed me. I'd rather have the hope, but at the same time, like if you have nothing to attach yourself
I
to,
have
at
hope.
least you just
I
look
have
forward
hope
to the next
this year.
season.
I have dangerously too much hope. in
I
the
have way
Giants
too much
this
hope for
year.
the Dolphins.
Dangerous. All right, let's move on.
That was it.
Factor cap.
Protect yourself, brother.
Thank you. That's what I'm trying to tell Jets fans. I'm a hypocrite though, so it's a problem.
Hey, you can speak on it. You can speak on
gonna
it.
finish second in the division.
No,
No,
I
realistically,
speak from personal experience.
my expectations for the Giants are incredibly
I think the
low.
Giants are
That's
better than the Eagles. I'll say it.
Nah, that's ridiculous.
I'll say it.
Better than the Jets.
Don't
I
agree with
think.
that one.
But better than the Eagles, no.
And
The Eagles schedule not pretty.
All right, factor cap.
Neither is Giants though.
While we're talking about the AFCs, factor cap. Mac Jones will have a breakout year if he gets D-Hop.
Cat.
I don't give a shit.
it
Fuck the Patriots.
Ta-ha.
Fuck Mac Jones.
depends
Fuck
what we
Bill
consider
Belichick.
a breakout year. I'll say Cap because I don't think he's gonna have the type of year like Jalen Hurts had. That's a breakout year. I don't think he's gonna have that, but he'll get a lot better and he'll cement himself as the quarterback of the future for the Patriots for sure.
If you
We've
haven't,
seen it. We've
What
seen
have you seen from Mac Jones that you like love?
that I love, nothing. But you don't need to love a quarterback for him to be your franchise quarterback. Kirk Cousins is a franchise quarterback. What do you see from him that you love? I think he's good enough to be a quarterback.
Man of God.
4,000 yards. I don't know. Didn't Kirk Cousins have some?
You
Well,
like
Kirk
that?
has also played with incredible talent. Let's be
You
real.
like that?
Mac Jones hasn't played with anybody, and you're the first to say that.
Yeah, but then the argument would be he'd get D-Hop, so does he make the jump?
Yeah, yes, he makes a jump. He makes a jump into
Does he
this
make a
is your guy.
Kirk Cousins like jump. Like
I don't think that's a
level?
huge jump,
It's
but
not such a jump.
sure, yeah.
In Kirk Cousins' career,
Kirk is good.
I
Kirk's
agree.
He's much better than Mac Jones.
Yeah, because he's had
Kirk's
10
thrown
more
for
years to
4,000
play.
plus 7 times.
Right.
Three of which were in Washington.
Let's talk about the receivers he's played with.
All right, who do you have in Washington?
No idea.
No one.
In Washington? No, he
In
had some good receivers.
26, who is it? What
He
was it?
had, when was he there?
2016.
Did he have Santana Moss a couple
Washington
years?
Redskins.
Bro, that would have been late Santana Moss.
He was a dog.
Sean McVay was the OC.
Who was the quarterback that turned with Terrell Pryor? When they were there?
I think he did have Terrell Pryor for a sec.
His leading wide receivers were Jamison Crowder, Pierre Garcon.
Oh, they were good.
They were good.
Oh yeah, Jameson
They
Crowder
were
was
pretty good.
elite.
Yeah, so
pretty
he threw
good.
for
pretty
4,900
good.
yards. 4,900 yards with them.
That's cool. And his receiver was the receiver was, or his tight end was a beast.
Vernon Davis.
Vernon Day and Jordan
Past his
Reed.
prime,
And
Jordan Davis.
not Jordan Reed.
Or Jordan
Jordan Reed was a dog.
All right.
Anyways,
Mac Jones.
and then on the Vikings, obviously, he's had a lot of talent. Mac Jones, I think he can take, if we're going to compare him to Kirk Cousins, sure, I think he can be Kirk Cousins. I think he's going to cement himself as a starter for 10 plus years if he can.
I don't see Mac Jones throwing
French.
for 4,000 plus yards ever.
Oh, he definitely can. That's like, I have no question about it. If he gets D-Hop, I'd make a bet that he throw for 4,000. That's
I'll take
it.
under on that.
on 4,000?
Yeah.
I'll
Yeah,
take
like
it
it's
too.
not 2023 and a bum-ass quarterback like Brock Purdy couldn't throw for
Yeah, but
4,000.
Yeah, but Bill
I hear
Belichick
you.
is ancient, bro. I don't think he cares about
Well, they got
that.
Bill O'Brien now, but I'll say
they got Bob.
I'll say. I mean, he would be reunited with Bill O'Brien if D-Hop
B.O.B..
went. I would just say Cap. I mean, look,
when
when you're
he's taking any jump,
not jump, yes, but when you're struggling to even win the job, and then in camp you have to win back the job as a starting quarterback. To me, that doesn't signal that like you're gonna take this next like crazy fucking leap that Jalen Hurts took. So if his leap, what did he throw for last year? Like
Minshew was threatening Jalen Hurts' spot last year too.
Bro, if
last year?
if Bailey
Before the
Zappi
season, a
started
lot
for
of
the
people said
Patriots-
Minshew was the better quarterback than Hurts.
Bro, dude, so many Eagles fans were like, Jalen Hurts isn't the quarterback of the future, and then he comes back out. Jalen Hurts was a completely different
Exactly.
talent than Mac Jones. Completely different talent.
way more.
Was Mac Jones in the Heisman
What are you
running?
talking about? Jalen Hurts was a second-round pick. Mac Jones was top 15.
Facts.
Not because
What are you talking about?
Because of fucking what
What
he
are you
did.
talking about?
What am I talking about?
Jones was
Jalen
the
Hurts was a
Heisman
way better
finalist, by the
fucking.
way.
Okay, but Jalen Hurts was a way better unique talent for the NFL than Mac
Unique
Jones.
talent,
What are you
but-
talking
Mac
about?
Jones.
Project,
There's a
he was
reason Mac.
second-round
When we're
pick.
talking college quarterback, Mac Jones is better than Jalen Hurts.
Because of the
And he
fucking
was a
team
top
that he was
15
at.
pick. He was
Because
a
the
top
t-
15 pick.
He
They
dropped.
both played it
Bro,
out.
I'm just.
They were talking Mac Jones to be the second overall. That dude fucking dropped.
And he dropped to 15. Jalen Hurts dropped to the second round. What's your point?
I don't know what my point is. I think Jalen Hurts has always been a better
That's
fucking
fine.
talent.
Jalen Hurts is a more dynamic player.
Absolutely, and he's a much better player.
He always
But
has
I'm just
been,
saying,
but-
before this past year, Jalen Hurts, there were questions about him being a starting quarterback, and Gardner Minshew was seen to some people as being a threat to his job. Same thing with Mac Jones now. So if Hurts could take that step, maybe Mac Jones can take the step. I don't think
Bailey
he's as
Zappi?
good.
I was
Bailey
going to say,
Zappi,
who's the
though?
backup in New
I
England?
love
Yeah,
Bailey Zappi, bro.
Mac Jones
Zappi
threw for
hour.
2,900 yards last year.
Oof.
Bad, but like we said, the supporting cast was terrible.
14
This is
CDs, 11, 19. I mean, look, I don't think they're going to
Who's he got? Who's he got now? He got Juju.
Juju. It doesn't help.
Uh,
It's not that
Devontae?
much better.
Devontae Parker, Kendrick Bourne.
Yeah.
It does. It's not good.
Oh,
Like, he's
Mike
hot,
Gesicki.
But the reason I don't see him going to D-Hop,
A lot of former Dolphins.
The reason I don't see D-Hop going to the Patriots is he keeps saying he wants to. Like, to me, the Patriots and him going there is a leverage play. It's him saying, like, someone else give me a fucking contract.
Yeah, he just
if
he
D-Hop
wants to
wants to win, he's not going to New England. They are not going to win. Even if he did go, the AFC East is fucking loaded. If you're going to go to a team in the AFC East, it's going to be fucking Buffalo. If you're going to go to a team that's second outside of Buffalo in the AFC East, you might go to the Jets. But if the Chiefs are there, like there are other teams out there that will offer him a contract. It's just leverage play.
would be crazy.
So I just don't see him going to New England. New England, the idea of him going to New England is just an agent saying, let's leverage, someone else giving you money.
I don't know. We know that Hop and Belichick have a good relationship. So
We know that.
yeah.
Yeah.
You spoke to him?
Other than Mac Jones, what's one NFL player you expect to have a breakout season?
Define breakout.
I don't know how to define.
Because like I think
I don't know how to define breakout other than
Like,
breakout. You know what breakout means?
if I say Tyreek's gonna go, if I say
know why I say it.
because if I say Tyreek's gonna go for 2,000, does that consider breakout?
No.
Okay.
We know what
That's not out
Tyreek
of
is.
the realm
Tyreek,
of like
yeah.
possibility.
Justin
guy-
Herbert winning the MVP,
Who?
like throwing for 5,000 yards.
Yeah,
Justin
that's a
Herbert.
breakout.
That's a
That's
breakout.
breakout.
Yeah.
I think
think-
Justin Herbert just in a completely shifting offense with Kellen Moore. Yeah, he has the
Are you shifting your
MVP?
narrative on him?
Herbert
no.
MVP is what you're saying?
I think Justin Herbert, for a hot take, I think Justin Herbert could easily win the MVP. Absolutely.
Okay, so that's your breakout.
I don't know if that's that hot. It's hot, but it's not like scorching.
No, but it's hot. It's hot.
Supporting
give you
cast
it.
is there. Offensive coordinator that
It won't
supports
warm
him.
up my eggs though.
Healthy offensive line. I don't know. I could see it. So if that's the idea of breakout, yeah, I would say Justin Herbert could cement himself as like a top 5 quarterback for sure. Has every intangible,
Breakout
tangible.
year, huh?
Excuse me. Has every tangible.
He does have every tangible.
I don't
We've
know what
always
the-
said that. I'm gonna go with J.K. Dobbins. I think healthy. Obviously, we always talk about like a guy first coming back from an injury like an ACL or something like that. They're never the same. You give him another year on top of that, like Michael Gallup will have this year, like Saquon had after, and then he had a good year last year. So I think J.K. Dobbins this year is gonna have a really, really big year.
I hope so.
I love it.
I could see it.
You think I should draft him in fantasy again?
Yeah, I think yeah, you should. I think Dobbins will go for like 1,400 plus,
I could see that.
That'd be
and
sick.
maybe 12 touchdowns, hopefully
be
more.
sick.
I could
I
probably
think-
see more so closer to like a 1,300 and 12 touchdowns. Because I could see the offense being
close.
more prolific with Todd Monken and then him getting goal line carries versus him like actually going for 1,500 yards, which is tough to do.
You know how to say this guy's name?
Yeah.
I think he's going to be a dog this year, but I have no clue how to pronounce it.
Chigazium.
Okonkwo.
Okonkwo, the tight end in
Tennessee.
Tennessee. Yeah, he's so nice.
I think he's going to be a dog.
He is.
Who?
Chigozium Okonkwo.
Cheeto.
Why'd you pick him?
I've
his nickname
I've
Cheeto?
seen a lot of buzz around him in camp.
In camp?
He's an athletic freak.
He is an athletic freak.
He's an athletic
I don't know.
freak.
He's only pick. I don't know breakout.
Who's another breakout that I would
I think he's going to be good.
Is it weird to say Lamar Jackson could be another breakout?
Yeah.
Yeah,
he's
that's
already
weird.
won MVP.
He's already broken out.
Yeah, but I know what
like
you're
the
saying.
Justin
narrative-
Fields. He had a fantasy breakout, but he didn't have an NFL like great
That's my
quarterback
number
breakout.
2 after
I
Dobbins.
just feel like with Lamar, like so many people have bumped him down.
They have,
Nah,
bro.
but
You
people
can't
also
break out
pump him up,
again.
bro. Like, he's
I have
still
not.
Lamar
I feel like I
Jackson.
never see anyone say he's a top 5 quarterback.
No.
Really?
And last year, before even sitting out,
What about Trevor Lawrence?
Oh wait, here's a good one.
Yeah,
Kenny
he could have a
Pickett.
breakout. He could
I
have a
think
breakout.
Kenny
for
Pickett's
sure.
gonna be good this year. Like I don't know why I'm so sold on him.
I could see it. He had a better.
Second year
Mitch
of four
is-
again with George
Because
Pickens.
Mitch is in his ear, you know?
Bro, Mitch, you talk about a quarterback guru,
Yeah.
Mitch Trubisky.
Yep.
Maybe not a great quarterback himself, but god damn it, he knows how to back up good.
Those who can't
he
do
backed up
teach.
Josh Allen. People forget.
Those who can't do.
He made
forget.
Josh Allen,
He
bro.
did, bro. That's what people don't give Mitch Trubisky that kind of credit. And Matt, once Kenny Pickett makes a Josh Allen type jump this year, he knows behind it.
All right. What's one player
Can't wait
that
for that.
you think is getting too that the expectations on these player is very high that you think might be a bust?
You know who am I gonna say?
You got to go someone new, bro.
Well, you're gonna say someone in Seattle.
Yeah, you got to go someone new.
Eugene Smith.
Yeah, Geno Smith.
No,
Yeah.
please go
Eugene
someone
Smith.
new, bro.
Why you
'Cause
hate
it-
when I hate on him?
Because it's like too much at this point. It's like disrespectful, man. A guy has a family. Like, we can't just be picking on this guy.
Give me. All right. Why is Eugene Smith gonna
Oh,
regress
God.
this year?
Why? I don't know. I just don't like the guy. I got no solid reasoning for all signs point to him doing way better because he got JSN now and he's in the second year of this offense as the starter and he has the fucking keys, but he's still Geno Smith.
I was gonna say the argument
Pro Bowl-
is not.
He
Pro
played
Bowl.
for the
It
Jets.
has nothing to do with his
He's got the
personality.
Jets
It has
in
nothing
him.
to do with his personality. The
No.
only argument I could think
He's a
of
great
to
guy.
support Jack's theory is that he has more data to show us that he has been bad than the one season that shows
And
us
I've
he was
said that.
good. So, based on that, it's not a terrible bet to say that he's not going to be good again. Granted, we saw last year that he was good. So, like, now that he's
Can I propose
we're at
something,
this
though?
point in time, right after the good season, I would think he's going to be good.
What
again.
year have we ever seen a team support Geno's
Exactly.
strengths with a really good head coach? Like, when have we ever seen Geno have the
Never.
pieces around him?
100%, and I think Gino's gonna have a great year. If you want,
He's just backing me
I'm
up.
just trying to say
I just
if
don't
there's
want to make the
any
argument
argument to speak on Gino having a bad year, it's that more of his career he has been bad.
Sure.
And another argument for
But-
that is that he played for the Jets, so he still has some Jets in him.
No, but that's
a part of him is Jets.
I hate to tell you, that hurts your argument. Once you leave the Jets, you become good.
No, you don't.
That's how the Jets work, my
Didn't
friend.
work out for Sam.
Good.
Didn't.
Sam.
Oh,
Good.
yeah.
Samuel
But it
Talley.
still could. Yeah, it could. Who knows?
Good.
Who's another player that can regress like that? Who's another player that the expectations are just far too high? What about a team?
Oh,
What team has
No,
far
let's
too
go
high of
players.
expectations?
The
Okay.
question's players. Then we can go teams after.
players? Yeah.
George Pickens?
Like there was a part of
I mean, I can tell you what I'm
No.
worried
Fans
about.
go up.
Not that his expectations are that high.
You're saying Saquon, aren't you?
I think Daniel Jones.
Oh no.
I thought
I'm
that crossed
worried.
my mind.
I'll be honest, I'm worried.
There was a part of it.
I just don't think that much is asked of him.
I just
asked of
think
him,
it
so I
could
don't
go
think
one
that-
of two ways. Like, it's either he's going to be very okay like he was before this season, where like this season he was good, right? He was good.
Sure.
But he's either going to be very okay, like a little worse, or he's going to have the breakout year.
He's not gonna
I'm hoping for the breakout year. I think he could have a better year.
I feel stronger.
But
to
I
say
am
that.
nervous.
I feel stronger
that
on the
he's
breakout
gonna
year.
he's gonna regress after paying him so much money. I feel like the expectations on him are so high that like
I just feel like when you see a quarterback have a decent amount of success with no fucking talent, you give him a little bit more talent.
Yeah,
You should
Jalen
see
Hyatt.
success. I actually
Darren
think
Waller.
maybe the buzz around this player isn't high enough. Like people aren't super high on him, but I think a player that could potentially really regress in a conversational standpoint is Kyler Murray. Because if he comes back and he has no weapons around him, and then that team's
Yeah.
fucking
Hollywood Brown and
terrible,
Jack shit.
they can get Caleb Williams, and that like Kyler Murray's trajectory, he could be on another team by next year.
I think he will be.
dude, Colt McCoy's the guy, man.
Well, no, they would draft
Texas,
Caleb
yeah.
Williams. Like Kyler's a guy that the narrative can shift drastically.
Totally.
Didn't you
So
predict them to
fast.
go like 3-14?
You did.
Me?
You did the Cardinals prediction.
Did I think I did the Cardinals.
think
I
Matan
did the
did.
Cardinals. I did
Oh,
the
I thought
Cardinals.
Matan did.
I did the Cardinals.
It was one of you two.
I had them winning
it was
like
him.
4 games or
Blue
something.
couch was in the video.
And
Yeah,
four
yeah,
or
yeah.
5 games is usually the bottom tier of the NFL normally.
That's
So-
bottom tier.
I'm trying
Yeah.
to think of some like
Trying to think of someone
over-ass
else.
type players. Like
I think Josh Jacobs will regress this year.
Yeah, I mean, he's not going to be the leading
Obviously.
rusher.
Yeah, but I also don't think he'll be a top 5 rusher.
Interesting.
I think Devontae's going to have a bad year too.
I don't know about that, but Josh Jacobs had so many touches last year,
don't know. Just 'cause
and
of
he's not
Jimmy
going to
G.
get the same amount this upcoming year. Contract year though, so they should use the fuck out of him, but I don't think they will. I think Jacobs will fall off a bit.
I'm not going to say, like, let me rephrase. Devontae's not going to have a bad year, but he had such a good year with a Derek Carr, like, still from a fantasy perspective, and now he's going to Jimmy G, who might not even pass his fucking physical. And yes, Devontae had a great.
What happened to his physical?
He's like his whatever his
He got some
shoulder.
injury that's
Yeah. Well,
fucking
he had
him
his
up.
ankle, and then it's back to the shoulder.
Yeah.
Like, if he doesn't pass the physical, he's the trade or the free agency signing doesn't go through. So he might not even be. They don't even know if
He'll be
Jimmy
out of a
G's the
job?
actual quarterback. Well, they don't know
Hey,
if
but
Jimmy G's
Jared
actually the
Stidham
quarterback.
looked real nice last year when he stepped in.
I agree, and Devontae played well with him. I just like it's just you look at opportunities. Who's
Jared
another?
Stidham,
Jack's a
Auburn
Raiders
legend.
fan now because Jimmy G's on the team.
Dude,
gotta root for
wherever
the guy.
James goes, I go.
Yeah.
All right.
What about teams?
Yeah,
There's like
what's-
one team that's
Lions.
super overhyped right now.
Lions.
Lions are super overhyped.
They have a lot of work to do on defense. Still.
Is it crazy to say? I don't want to say that they're
Jets.
super overhyped, but just like the expectations
Eagles.
are just scary. It's the Bengals for me.
Oh.
Just because they lost those safeties, or
We lost.
Nah,
They
I
lost
think the
safeties, but we had
expectations
Drew
are-
on
I
here.
just think the Bengals are
a good team.
They're a postseason team.
No, they're a great team, but I just think
They're really
they're Super Bowl or bust, right? We had Drew on it, who was
should be, though.
up. I agree, but like if
when
you don't
have
win the
that
Super Bowl,
quarterback, you can be Super Bowl or bust.
if the Bengals don't win the Super Bowl, which I don't think they're going to, like the
do I.
AFC's just
They're not going
loaded.
to, but
Bro,
they have
what?
a lot of talent.
No,
Their
they
offense
easily
is
could.
fucking loaded.
Yeah, they easily could. I don't know. Maybe they're
I
not.
just
almost-
think you
I
could
just
just
think
say they're
they're-
not going.
You
You
take,
they easily
you
could.
take away Joe Burrow, the Bengals are still a playoff team.
I don't know. about
Throw
that.
in Joe Burrow
I
there,
don't know
and they're
about
one of the
that.
best teams in the league.
Yeah.
No, I don't. If you,
The offense is fucking
bro,
loaded.
if you replace him with like if you
Who's
put
their
Baker
backup?
Mayfield in Cincy, they're not
Playoff
making
team.
playoffs.
Playoff team.
No, they're not.
For sure.
They're absolutely.
I just think
They might be
Cincy
a
is
playoff
built
team.
for
They're a playoff
the
team.
postseason. They're going to win 10 or 11 games in the regular season, and then they're going to
Yeah,
make the
they'll
postseason.
win
And they'll
10,
make,
nine through
then they'll
11.
show they're one of the best teams.
Okay, so the Bengals aren't.
I think Eagles. I think the Eagles will regress this year.
They're like, they have to regress because they're not going to win 13 or 14 games again. So they're going to
But,
regress
like,
naturally. But
but
like
I
they're
think
going to be a
it's-
good team still.
But everyone is putting them on this pedestal of they are by far the best team in the NFC, and I think
are.
we're gonna.
I just think they didn't.
But I
like-
think we're gonna see this year that there's gonna be other teams like the Niners, the Cowboys that are gonna come in there and be like.
I
Well,
just
those,
think
those
we're-
aren't surprises either, though. Like, those teams were competing last
But is the
year.
reason?
But people are putting the Eagles on such a level.
Is the
above
reason you say
everyone
that the
else.
Eagles are going to regress because they lost defensive pieces, or because they're just not going to win 14
It's
games and that's hard to do?
They're replacing older, like more established defensive pieces with unproven young players that we don't know exactly how.
Young
Yes,
pieces.
they've been great in college.
No,
but
we
how
don't
many
know
times
that.
we've seen great college players that
Yeah, we don't know that
don't
they're
pan out.
unbelievable.
So we don't know that yet. It's that, and then their schedule it's a fucking gauntlet. Like, it's hard.
Yeah, schedule's
I
tough.
don't know if Jalen Hurts can handle losing that often. I want to see how he bounces back after doing that. Because in college with freaking Alabama and Oklahoma, he won like a motherfucker. With the Eagles last year, he won like a motherfucker. So it's like, they're going to go through adversity. I guarantee you at one point this season where they lose 2-3 in a row or like 3 out of 4 or something like that. And I want to see how he does to bounce back from that. I'm sure he will. I think he will, but I just see the Eagles regressing.
More so than the Eagles, I think Jalen Hurts could. And I was thinking about him when we were talking about players, but I think they have such a great situation around him that he's going to have another chance to go out and have a great year. But we've seen these types of quarterbacks come out, quarterbacks that are very strong in the run game that can break a league in one season. Teams adapt. They have a whole offseason to game plan against them. And then they're just not as good the next year. We saw it with RG3. We saw it with Cam. We saw it with Lamar even. And that could happen with Jalen Hurts again. So I think Jalen Hurts has the potential to kind of have obviously a regression, but he has so much talent around him that I'm willing to bank on him having a good year just because of the talent around him.
Yeah, that's fair.
All right.
Couldn't think of anyone.
Let's move into our last little segment, and then we're going to wrap up.
Last little boy.
Would you make this trade?
Would I?
Yeah, we did a couple of these weeks ago. Would you, should you, could you make these trades? Maybe the swap these players. Would you swap these players? Okay?
Okay.
We got a cut. I only got 2 of them this
All
week.
right,
All right? Would you swap these players? Cool. Myles Garrett and TJ Watt.
Ooh.
I'd keep Myles.
I don't know.
I might want TJ.
I think TJ is better, but he gets hurt more.
Yeah.
Well,
Why so sure about keeping Myles?
Well, he's from Arlington, Texas.
True.
Yeah.
True.
You forgot about that.
Should've led
part,
with
to be
that.
honest.
The problem is you tend to forget how many players are from Texas,
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah,
he's
well, there's
not
so
wrong.
many.
Where are the Watts from?
The Watts are from Wisconsin.
Oh,
yeah,
it's not the
Wisconsin.
same.
Wisconsin.
No, I think Myles Garrett has been more dominant. Even though TJ Watt, I don't think he has the sack record, but he got close to it, right?
He's the closest one. He had like 21.
But I think Myles Garrett has been more
He missed a
dominant.
couple games.
TJ Watt's played on a better defense overall than Myles Garrett ever has. Myles Garrett has been like obviously the biggest name on that defense for a while, but TJ Watt has played with some amazing pieces. Cam Hayward and Minka Fitzpatrick, even Joe Hayden, guys like that have been incredible.
TJ Watt had 22 and a half
Yeah,
sacks.
like
That's
Like-
insane.
Myles Garrett is more of a freak athlete, right? Like he's like one of those guys you see, you're like, holy fuck, how is that an actual human being? Which is crazy. But TJ Watt has just been so consistently dominant for so long.
Yeah, but he's played on a better defense where he has more opportunities to get sacks.
TJ Watt missed 2 games and had 22 and a half.
Yeah, that's also a
That's
fact that people
insane.
forget.
That's crazy.
He'd have gotten it. He'd have gotten it if he.
I would say I'd rather take TJ Watt
Yeah.
because I think he's a better player. Like, I think it's
He's better in coverage.
But
If
at the
you're-
same time, I agree with Jack. He gets hurt more often. So
I think if you're the
risk.
Steelers, you might rather have Myles Garrett just because if you
I don't know.
like you said, you plug him into that defense, maybe.
Because they like his versatility to be able to drop him in coverage occasionally.
if it's about who has a better body,
Myles Garrett.
Garrett's
I don't
So
know.
obviously.
Oh, he's an action figure.
Miles
bro.
Garrett's traps have traps.
Yeah.
Dude, Myles Garrett playing basketball is the fucking craziest thing I've ever seen. Oh my god.
In the celeb game, he was just like
Yeah.
dunking on people.
Dude, imagine you're like the CEO of Apple and you're just getting dunked on by Myles Garrett. Like, oh my god.
Would you say TJ and Miles are the
Jojo
1A,
Siwa's getting
1B
dunked
interchangeable for edge rushers, or would Nick be in there? Like,
No,
how would you
Nick's
rank those
better.
top 3 edge rushers?
Miles Watt and Bosa?
Miles, Bosa, TJ Watt. How would you rank those 3?
Miles.
I'll go Watt, Bosa, Miles.
I'll go. Yeah, it's tough.
I
I'll
think
go Miles, Watt, Bosa, because I think TJ Watt is. I mean, the numbers speak for itself.
As a pure pass rusher, TJ Watt is fucking insane.
And I've seen TJ drop in coverage and do well.
Yeah.
But I mean, you're talking about pure pass rusher. Nick has to be up there. It's like it doesn't matter. They're all.
That's 1ABC.
I'm putting, yeah, I agree.
It's
I
like
would,
Peyton
I'd probably
Tom
go,
Brady in the mid
How
2000s.
What about Micah?
Micah's not a pure
He's
pass
just not a
rusher.
pure passer.
He
I'd
will
probably
be this year, though.
I'd put Nick 1 because 18 and a half sacks, missing 1 game, and then also younger. So
Yeah.
coming off an ACL injury for him to have those sacks is crazy. Then I'd probably put TJ Watt because if it's not for his injuries, he is literally hands down the best edge rusher in the game, and he breaks that record. And then Myles Garrett, but they're interchangeable.
Yeah.
I'm also biased.
It's not
All right.
fair. And Bosa and Watt both played on great defenses.
Yeah.
Garrett never has.
Well, I mean, I get it, but you can't really do anything about that.
No, you can't, obviously, but the numbers are obviously swayed in that direction. When TJ Watt has Cam Hayward, one of the best defensive tackles of all time, literally taking up 2 offensive linemen, he's going to get more sacks. What other defensive lineman can you name on the Browns over the past 5 years that Garrett has played with?
Well, now it's Darius.
Yeah,
That should
sure.
be
And
interesting.
like Jadeveon Clowney
Yes,
a little
Jadeveon
bit. But
Clowney
like,
What would you
was
say?
Okay.
Who would I rather have?
No, what would you? Well, who would you rather have, and then how would you rank those top 3?
I mean, my instinct maybe it's recency bias was to take Bosa ahead of all of them. But
sure.
that's
I mean, that's fine, though.
There's nothing wrong with
because
that.
like watching
think you're
Bosa,
wrong
he's
with whatever
so
you do.
fucking dominant. He's just like
he had a-
so good.
and he had a great year.
insane to watch.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean,
Talk about good body.
Myles Garrett.
That too.
I mean, they're all probably Hall of Famers eventually, but
Yeah,
Myles
they are.
Garrett is like, to me, he's just like the biggest lock of the 3.
we also
like,
forget.
To make the, I think TJ Watt's the biggest lock to make the Hall
Yeah,
of
he
Fame
already
out
had
of
a
the 3.
DPOY. He's the only
Yeah.
one that. Nah, Nick got
Nick's
last
got
year,
one.
right?
Yeah.
You want to know what's crazy? I was
Does
talking
Myles
about
Garrett
Nick's.
not have one
I was
yet?
How old
talking
is
about.
TJ?
I don't think so.
Oh.
I don't think Miles has a defensive player of the year. Does
No,
he?
I don't think so.
No?
I don't think
I don't
he
think
does
so.
because it's been like Donald, TJ, or Nick Bosa. The
Yeah,
last
that's such a
fucking
shame for
10
him, bro.
years.
That's such a shame. He's so good.
Yeah, he doesn't.
But like the year TJ
Bro,
Watt
he's
got his
just a
DPOY
2-time first-team All-Pro.
was the year the Steelers started off like 12-0. Nick won it last year. The Niners were one of the best teams in the league.
Yeah.
Again, Garrett's never had that.
Also, Miles Garrett has 16 sacks over 32 sacks over the last 2 years, 16 apiece.
That's insane.
You want to guess? I brought up Nick's age. You want to guess what the age of TJ Watt and Miles Garrett is?
TJ's like 20. He's like older than you think. He's like 29.
I think
28.
TJ
Oh, I
Watt's
was
like
going to say
30.
like 26. I don't know.
TJ Watt's 28,
And then Myles Garrett's what, 25?
27,
No way.
It's like, 'cause he came out early.
I
he
didn't
was
realize
young for his
TJ
age.
was older.
and Nick's 25. That's crazy.
Damn.
Dude, I didn't realize Myles
Bro,
Garrett.
I didn't realize Myles Garrett was that young.
Miles Garrett being a year older.
I thought he was maybe almost 30.
Myles Garrett's a year older than me.
I thought TJ Watt was older. To be honest.
Damn.
That's crazy.
I thought TJ Watt was like 30.
Oh, you thought he was older?
I thought TJ Watt was a little older.
Oh, I feel like he's younger.
Oh, I thought he
but
was
maybe
younger,
because of
too.
JJ Watt. Like I always feel
Exactly.
like he's like
Yeah,
such
but
a
the
young
younger
age.
brother.
Yeah.
28, anything below 29 to me is fucking young as shit,
Yeah.
Yeah.
especially at the edge position.
Not
Cameron-
especially at the what?
Because Cameron
That's
Wake went till he was like fucking 35
Yeah,
dominating.
but that's
fucking,
an exception.
How old's JJ?
I feel like
Most
the
of our
fall off
listeners-
for an
most of our
edge.
listeners have no idea who Cameron Wake is, bro.
Cam Wake was,
I
he was
disagree.
talking about
How old
ripped
is JJ? Can you look that up? Because he just
Probably like
retired.
30 something, 30.
37?
30 something. Yeah,
Maybe
I would assume he's 30
37.
something.
36.
Most guys are
34.
gonna fall off. Most guys are
34.
gonna fall off in their 30s, like heavy.
Yeah.
Now you have the exceptions. The
All
Marcus
right.
Ware was good. Von
Last
Miller's good.
last swap. You're gonna hate this one.
Oh, I know this one.
Would you swap these players, Austin Eckler or Christian McCaffrey?
No!
If you're the Chargers, fuck yeah.
Bro, that's
Fuck
the most
yeah, you are if you're the
disrespectful thing
Chargers.
of all time to Christian McCaffrey. Christian McCaffrey is light years ahead of Austin Eckler.
It's actually
Austin
like,
Eckler
that's
is
so-
the off-brand Christian McCaffrey.
That is
Yeah,
so
but you're a
disrespectful.
fantasy head. Think about fantasy for a second.
Well, for fantasy, I'm still going to take Christian McCaffrey any day of the week. The only
Okay.
concern you have is because of his
Injuries.
fucking injuries.
Bro,
Christian
that
McCaffrey's
is
unbelievable.
That's a big
insanely
concern.
disrespectful to Christian McCaffrey.
Best
Eckler's
ability
never
is
rushed for-
availability.
Austin
Don't do
Eckler's
that to
never
my
rushed
mans.
for 1,000 yards.
Jesus fucking
Austin
Christ.
Eckler, if Austin Eckler rushes for 1,000 yards, we can talk. But until he does that, we're not having that conversation.
It's not fair because like one's a complete running back and the other's a receiving back.
Facts.
Like Austin Eckler would be a better comparison if like Darren Sproles was still playing or something like that.
Austin Eckler's
Or
also,
your boy Danny Woodhead.
I was about to say Danny Woodhead,
don't get
That's
me
a better
wrong, Austin
comparison.
Eckler's like good.
captain
But
of our squad.
when I see, we get into this so often. When I think of running back, I think of a back that's able to fucking run.
Christian
It's not
McCaffrey.
pass catching back.
McCaffrey, if you took away his receiving game, he would still be a really good
It'd
running
be
back.
unbelievable.
Yeah.
It'd be unbelievable.
He's so good.
I think it's
Eckler.
completely disrespectful to even ask me to swap those players.
Also, it's disrespectful
Yeah,
for me.
Matan,
to-
fuck you.
Yeah, I suck.
What would you
Fuck
do?
off.
Would you swap them?
No, what?
But
I
if you're
didn't
the
make
Chargers.
this. Yo,
If
the
you're the Chargers,
Game Day
you would.
NFL, man. This is from the Game Day NFL.
Wow, whoever runs that page must be
But it
a
depends.
fucking
There's a
moron.
scenario where you would rather keep Eckler
What's that scenario?
if you
Fantasy
have a,
football?
if you have a power back. If I have a power
No.
back, then I would rather have Eckler than McCaffrey because first off, you can't rely on McCaffrey's availability. So if I have a power back and he's going to be in there like first, second down, and then I can get an Eckler to come in on third down and actually just be the receiving back that
but
I need.
McCaffrey's probably a better receiver still.
I mean,
Like Eckler catches more balls, but McCaffrey is an insanely good receiver.
Yeah. I'm just trying to make
He would be an awesome slot. I know you're trying to give him one reason at all.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah. Also, like, please, like, if Darren Sproles is ever listening to this, that was actually disrespectful too, bro.
yeah,
Darren Sproles was so much better than Eckler.
Yeah.
Sounds better.
Darren Sproles could actually be just a runner too. He backed up LT, and he was a beast when LT was ever hurt. Like, he was a dog.
That duo was so fucking perfect.
What are you looking up over here?
You got big boy.
Adam going into some statistics.
Like Christian McCaffrey is just
He's a great running back. Like, people forget
he's
he's a great
all-around
running back overall.
he is the best all-around running back in the NFL.
Thank you. Yes, he is.
He's like, if he had never gotten hurt, like, well, let's put it this way, if he had never dealt with injuries throughout like a lot of the years he's been in the NFL, you'd be comparing him to guys like Marshall Faulk, who were great out of the backfield as a receiver and a running back,
I agree.
Yeah, I mean, let's talk about
or
him.
LT. It's guys like
You guys
that.
remember watching him in college too?
He
Oh
was
my god!
ridiculous.
But
But
he was the best player we've seen come out
That
since
2019
Reggie Bush.
season,
Where'd he
he
go?
had 14 Stanford.
That's not
That
true.
2019 season, he had
He's the best
1,400
running back
rushing
since
yards
Reggie Bush.
and 1,000 receiving yards. In 2019, he caught
Bijan.
as many balls.
Did you hear what he said? He had 1,400
Did you-
rushing
wait,
yards
did you
and
really-
1,000 receiving yards in 2019.
You really think Bijan was a better college player to watch than Christian
Oh,
McCaffrey?
I thought you said prospect going into
No,
the
no,
league.
no. Like straight
Oh,
up
no, then
college,
I agree with you.
college football
Oh, no,
player.
I
He's
agree
the
with
best
you.
we've seen
Can I
since
just
Reggie
can we
Bush.
contextualize that 2019 season that he had?
Go ahead.
He had
Let's do it.
118 receptions that year for
That's
1,000
crazy.
yards.
Wow.
That would have been third in
1,000
the
yards
NFL
receiving?
this year. 1,000 yards receiving.
That's fucking
That would have been
crazy.
third in the NFL this year.
Interceptions?
It would have went Justin Jefferson, Tyreek Hill, and then
That's
Christian
fucking
McCaffrey.
stupid.
And Tyreek only had 119
What was his rushing
catches.
stats?
1,400
Who was
yards.
his quarterback?
1,400 rushing yards.
1,400 and 1,000.
purpose.
Who was his quarterback that year
Cam.
in 2019?
Oh, yeah, Cam.
2019
Cam.
Must have been.
might
Cam.
have not been.
That was Cam. That was Cam's last
4
year.
years.
I
think.
agree with Felipe. If he didn't only play 10 games in 2020 and 22 in the before this year,
But
like
look-
over 2020 and 2021, you've been
regarded
comparing
by
to one of the
far.
greatest of all
Well,
time.
look, that was his not coming into the league. He's lighter and stuff like that, and that's why Jahmyr Gibbs is getting those knocks. Because it's like, can he stay healthy? You know, a lighter.
Well, they
running
also
back like
I don't
that.
see the Lions making Jahmyr a workhorse. They
They're
made
not.
like out of the gate.
Also, McCaffrey
Christian
is bigger
McCaffrey
than
is a
Gibbs.
workhorse.
Just,
Yeah, Christian McCaffrey's bigger than people think too.
Like-
That's disrespectful. Christian McCaffrey's the best running back in the NFL.
Sorry.
Is he?
I think he's the best all-around
I think
running
he is.
back, all-encompassing. If we're talking about pure running backs, I would probably take Nick Chubb. I would probably take Derrick Henry. I would probably take
Pure rushers.
pure
But
rushers.
who's the
Jonathan
best-
Taylor.
Who's the best player that is listed as a running back?
I think Christian
It's
McCaffrey.
Christian McCaffrey.
All right. Well, the best player that's listed as quarterback is Kyler Murray.
What?
Huh?
It's the same shit.
No, it's not.
Why?
Nah, it's Patrick Mahomes.
Yeah.
Exactly.
No.
All
I was
right,
like,
well,
let's not get out.
we got to wrap up, but thanks for listening to Caps Off Podcast as always.
Hey,
It's
we
always
turned
a great time.
We made lemonade from lemons this episode.
Yeah, you're a lemon.
You think they found the sub yet?
Since we started?
Since we
I
started.
don't know.
Yeah.
I
Ben,
hope
did
so.
they
Ben,
find
did
the
they
sub?
find it?
No.
Damn it.
Ben's been on sub watch.
Sub watch.
All right, well, we'll see you next time.
Bye.
Hey there, friend. What'd you think of that Christian McCaffrey take? Is he the best running back in the NFL? Let us know in the comments. Also, we're almost at 10,000 subscribers. When we do, Jack's going to get a Caps Off ass tat, so share with your friends. I beg you. We're close. It's been tough. And for any betting promos, go to thegameday.com. You're going to find it all. Is Matan behind me?
Subscribe!
Jesus, you spit all over me.